Yo, 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 it's D.Arthur in the building. Talking to you guys today about why semen retention makes you more intelligent. And why relapsing just makes you a little bit makes you less intelligent and maybe even a little bit dumber. Because the thing is, when you decide to retain, a lot of the semen reabsorbs back into your body. It reabsorbs back into your body. So you can notice like brighter, you can notice like nicer skin, healthier skin, clearer eyes, clearer face, more vibrant hair, a deeper voice, and it just reabsorbs into your entire body. And the way it makes you more intelligent is because it also starts your brain, the brain activity starts circulating at all different speeds. Like you just become like there's just more brain activity going on. You no longer are, you're not because your chakras are opening up. So you're no longer concerned about the three-dimensional lustful brain. You're no longer concerned about the fleshful brain, or the fleshful lust. You're not thinking carnal. You're thinking more like your higher self. You're thinking more like a spiritual being, because semen retention equals spiritual energy. It helps enhance your spiritual connection. So if you decide to retain it and conserve it, you're definitely going to notice some differences about you. You're going to be the most authentic, vibrant, happiest version of yourself, and now you're going to attract the better things in life. We have a lot of people. There's a correlation between people who are very, let's say, lustful, or just who operate from a lower vibration when it comes to, like, let's say, lust, and them just not having a happier soul. And that's why you can probably guess why they might be a little bit more moody, they might be a little bit more anxious, and they might just be a little bit just weird, if you didn't realize. Because once you start retaining, you're connecting with, you have a clearer direction, a clearer communication with your subconscious, with the superconscious, with the Most High. And now, like, you're just, the lustful things that you used to do, the low vibrational things, the things that you may need, like external things like drugs, like cigs, all these other type of things, you no longer need them as much. You're literally living, your energy is just you. Your energy source. You don't really need as much other things to help you build energy. You might wake up, maybe you might need less sleep, your eyes might clear up, you're just more intelligent. You start to think a different way. Your consciousness has raised. You're raising your consciousness, and your consciousness is what you believe to be true. Your perspective on this three-dimensional life, whatever you believe to be true, whatever your self-beliefs are, your hard, deep wired self-beliefs are, is what you're pretty much going to get. And since you're retaining your seminal fluid, you're conserving your energy, you have no choice but to connect with the Most High and how He operates. You're becoming more enlightened. You're just becoming a lot more enlightened. You start realizing, and if you combine this with, because I mean, semen retention is one thing, but if you combine it with like meditation, you're operating from it's a whole nother game. Because now since you're retaining and you're meditating, your brain is finally clear. You no longer are anxious. All these thoughts that seem to come in and out that affect your mood, you're no longer affected by these thoughts. Now you get to pick and choose what you want to think about, and this is the most powerful way you can really live your life, because now you're directing how you want your life to go instead of it directing you. If you're directing what you want to think about, if you're consistent, okay, because the thing is, if we know that our thoughts somehow end up becoming our destiny, our reality, and things like that, and if you're not meditating, you're letting anxious thoughts pass through your brain, and now you're lowering your vibration, you're lowering your mood. And if you hold this vibration, you're going to start attracting bad situations and circumstances. You're going to always wonder why you never get the short end of the stick. I mean, you're always getting that short end of the stick. You're wondering why you're affirming these these conditioned beliefs saying things like life is hard, life is not easy, money's hard to come by, and all these type of things. These affirmations, when you hear people say this, are just passed down conditioning affirmations. It's just what was affirmed into the masses and what everybody accepted as reality. But there's some people, there's spiritual beings, there's enlightened beings who know that these are just statements. They can't really be reality unless the subconscious accepts them as truth. So it's best to affirm your new reality all the time. It's best to stay away from things that lower your vibration and only pay attention to things that make you feel alive and well. You become more intelligent. There's a Simpsons episode where Marge wasn't giving Homer the sex, and then basically Homer kind of changed his life a little bit. He wasn't a slouch anymore. He went to work early. He started on new swag, or he put on new clothes. He just became a better version of himself. And then once he relapsed, he returned back to his normal ways. But this is just saying that your consciousness raises, your beliefs raises, your awareness raises. You really now can direct your life instead of it directing you. The anxiety erases. We have people who stay at home, who don't really take any action, who just do the same things, but they're expecting to have a totally different life. They're expecting someone to sweep them off their feet, but they're doing the same thing. They're letting their anxious thoughts and their disaster-led thoughts dictate their world. And I mean, like I said, if you let these low vibrational thoughts enter your mind and if the subconscious believes that they are true, you're pretty much sabotaging yourself. If you know this information, is best for you to change what you like to entertain, because once you meditate, your whole mind is clear, and now you intentionally, what you're now doing is you're intentionally directing your thoughts to what you want. You're intentionally thinking about the things that you want. You're intentionally thinking about the things that make you feel good. And if you hold this vibration, you have no choice but to attract the better things in life. All of these passed down beliefs, all these conditioned beliefs, all of these beliefs that made you lead to being mediocre or unimpactful or just ineffective are all false. They're just affirmations that people who didn't know any better just accepted. But if you do know, once you gain a little bit a higher consciousness, once you're just in a better state of mind, you start realizing that the best was intended for you, and you're actually supposed to be thriving in this 3D reality. Because there's a scale of consciousness. We have guilt and shame as one of the lower scale of consciousness, and then we have like anger and things as mid and as survival, and then we have enlightenment and love as like the highest vibration. If you can live your life in love 24/7, you have no choice but to attract the better things in life. You gotta stay away from people who are just very low vibrational. You pretty much have to stay away from them, because that's not the end of the story. There's more to the story. Everything isn't set in stone. There's always change. Things are always changing 24/7. So just be very aware where you put your attention to. And like I said, your intelligence skyrockets. You no longer have any correlation between lower vibrational human beings. You no longer have any correlation between lower vibrational human beings. There's nothing to talk about with them. We have no correlation between negative people and pessimistic people and mediocre people, or people who are just scared to act. We have everything to do with people who want to become better and get more from life. This is the only thing that we have in common with. We don't have people who are we don't have time for people who are petty. We don't have time for people who are negative, pessimistic, mediocre, talk about how things can't work. We only have time for wealth building, gains getting, more insight, more wisdom, more spiritual presence, and more life, and we just have less time for negativity and mediocrity, if that makes sense. So yes, your intelligence skyrockets, you become a better version, you start attracting the better things in life, and now you're no longer your carnal flesh. You start reading people's spirits. That's how you start basing your decisions now. Because how a person physically looks is just one thing, but where their soul is, it's a whole nother thing. We start judging people based off how their soul is. How easy is it for them to get angry and to get down on themselves? How easy is it? Because this is how you gauge how much faith people have, how much spiritual connection people have, and how much are they really connected to their spiritual self. Because people are quick to get down in the dumps. They're not exhibiting any faith, and I mean, if you don't exhibit faith, nothing can really work for you, because you're not giving anything a chance to work for you. They call it too soon. They think things will never change. They're always moody, they're always pouty, they're always talking about their shortcomings. Meanwhile, they start realizing that the reason why all this is happening is actually brought to them by them. It's about your decisions that you make, what your habits are, and just what kind of vibration you're exhibiting, what kind of vibration you're displaying. We no longer have time for women who will judge you based off what you got. We have time for people who judge you based off who you are and what you can become, and what your priorities are. This is how we start making our decisions now. They're all decisions made by the superconscious. They're all decisions made by our higher selves, because the Most High doesn't look at me and you the same way that we look at other people. We judge people by where their soul is, what their intentions are, and things like that. So I mean, if this video correlated or connected with you in any way, drop a like, comment something, and then subscribe below, and then share the video with other people, and let's keep it going. Peace.